Peace and blessings, my people. Peace and blessings to the Sun people and all those who want to get this right knowledge. I've been in the conscious circles outside of the internet and within the internet, social media sites since the beginning. And I've sat back and I've watched a lot of people come and go, right? And as they come and go, for the sake of debating, a lot of information gets twisted and distorted, you understand, over time. For those who are dealing with higher consciousness, especially when dealing with the origins of the Sun people, the scripts can't change. The scripts got to be the same. How can we teach the kids if we keep making these changes? Like right now, we got the separatist debates going on. Who's better, the Indian versus the African? Are we Indians or are we really Africans? When these words are just words of illusion to describe a people that predate the people, calling them these illusions. What I want to talk about today, as you see, I got the verse up. This is John 1:1. I was looking up the etymology, right? Let's go there first. Okay, the etymology of word. I like dealing with etymology. It can give you a whole lot of knowledge. But as you see the word as a noun, a person, place, or a thing, the word, person, place, or a thing, this is going to connect us to the Bible, right? I just showed you that. But then I'm going to take it a bit deeper, okay? The ghost people have retained our culture and heritage worldwide in their historical content, in their religious content. What has changed is language, okay? What has changed is the language. Now I have information that states that we are the original people who speak English and various other languages, ancient languages, right? They've retained our culture and heritage in their politics, historical content, and their religions, because these people didn't have an original way of life. Their original way of life is borrowed. So I don't understand the Indian versus African debate when you deal with those who say they're only Indians. They're not bringing, culture and heritage. They tell you they visit a powwow, but they're not breaking down the essence, the spiritual, cultural understanding of the powwow, right? We're not getting no deep knowledge, okay? They taking us into history and opinions. You feel what I'm saying? History and opinions. And then from there, they build, okay? We got to deal with what's really ailing us, not aiding, ailing us in our communities. And one of the things they brought when they conquered us was the Bible, okay? Was the Bible and a version of their God, which is really our God. Okay, they changed the names, the identities, the images to put them inside of our history. Okay, the original man and woman on the planet is the sun man and sun woman with afro hair, and then we can go down from there. The original human hue, right? Those of sun color. Okay, there's only two colors when you're dealing with people on this planet, scientifically speaking, about eumelanin and pheomelanin. We got black and brown pigment, eumelanin, great melanin, pheomelanin. You got red and pink pigments, right? Pheomelanin. That's also called dusky melanin. Let's look at the word. Now look, it says speech. It's very important, okay? So when we're talking about God, we got to talk about the speech or the expressions. Do you know what I'm saying? The original atom split into two: sun dynamics, solar dynamics, atomic intercoursing, right? When you're getting helium out of hydrogen and you get in the beginning creations and gestations of the suns, okay? There's a speech that goes along with creation, to talk, utterance. We can't produce sentences without the word, right? To express, statement, news, reports, word. Now, as you see, these breakdowns, okay, are from the Old English, Proto-Germanic, Old Frisian, Dutch, Old High German, and things of that nature. To speak, to say. Why is this important? Because now we can understand, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Now they have attributed gender to the Word. He was with God in the beginning. And those of the Dutch and the Old English and the Anglo-Saxons and the Frisians and those people today, they would say he is Jesus Christ. But in the essence of Sun people's culture and heritage and creation, there is no such thing as a Jesus Christ. We got to understand that. Okay? And when we're talking about the light of Jesus Christ, the anointing, that light that we're talking about existed before Jesus Christ. Now, black people, if you feel Jesus Christ is your God, by all means, you have your mind, and your mind is your own personal God. Okay? But Jesus Christ can be the God of Sun people. Why do I say that? Because some people were already on the planet, created before Jesus was known by this name. In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning, inside the beginning, not at the very point of the beginning or creation. For us, there is no creation as human beings on the planet Earth or any planets without the creation of the sun. See, they want to Allah you. They want to Yahweh you, right? And put you into more languages like Aramaic and Hebrew and Arabic, okay? When even these languages came after the original languages. You dig what I'm saying? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Now, when you look at Word, you're dealing with John, you're dealing with New Testament, you are dealing with the Greek language. And I don't even think English was being spoken yet at this time with the ghost people. For here we have Latin that comes after the Greek. In the case of the Greeks and the Romans, okay, language, the word is logos. God is theos. In the Old Testament, God is Yahweh, one of the gods. And when you know it's one of the gods, they put Lord in front of it. This goes along with Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, it tells you in the Bible, when you're dealing with extraterrestrials, okay, light beings that manifested on this planet, the Bible says that beings from heaven, the sons of God, that came down to earth. They intermingled and made love to the daughters of men and created mighty men on the planet. Now, when it says they created mighty men on the planet, it don't say one of them was Jesus Christ. Right? Now, you know the Bible is symbolic and allegorical and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Lesser degrees and mysteries of our great creation story. Okay? God is theos. Now, when you're talking about God in any part of the New Testament, that God is theos. Theos and theory go together. Okay? Theos and theory go together. You know, there's theories in science. Gotta have theories in science. Hypothesis in science. And then you work these theories out until you come to a consensus or a conclusion. And the conclusion can only come when there's more than one person agreeing on your theory. They push your theory, they work your theory. In the case of the New Testament, it's a theory because their God is theos. Right? Their God is theos. Okay. Now, what is theos in relation to the original sun people on the planet Earth? There is no relation. Because we were Greeks after. Now, when you're talking about the word, you got to understand that Christianity came from Egypt. Christianity does not predate the empires of Egypt. And Egypt, like African, like Indian, is not even the real name for that land. Okay? They say it's a Greek corruption of Het God Ptah. Now, I don't know how in language, right? The Greek language in relation to the hieroglyphs, the demonic, that you get Egypt, Aegyptos, from Het God Ptah. Okay, let's give a little breakdown on Ptah. In relation to studying gods and goddesses, Ptah has always been one of my favorite gods. Right. One of my favorite gods. Now, this is Wikipedia. I'll give you some other source information on Ptah. It can get deeper wherever you want to go. Okay. Now, saying you're a universal, worldly sun being, that doesn't leave you limited to one landmass when it comes down to understanding the creation of some people. Just because I'm talking about an African God doesn't mean that I'm pushing Pan-Africanism. Okay, we are dealing with the origins. You see origins and symbolism. Okay, origins, so what was there first as far as understanding who we are and the power that we have, the generative power that we have, the reproductive power that we have, the solar cellular power that we have, the spiritual ethereal power that we have. We got to deal with the origins. And like I told you, North America is outside of the sun zone. Some of that electromagnetic generative power that sparks you melanin. North America is outside of the sun zone. So I'm letting you know, black Indians that are claiming Indians can't be Indians before they were Africans. Okay? So when you go into, someone said, can you pronounce a word without the vowels? They'll tell you vowels were put in to pronounce the words. So you got to check the ignorance, okay? If vowels were put in to pronounce the word, but the original words contain no vowels, then how were they spoken? They were spoken as seen. So when you see Ptah, you see the spelling Ptah, but it's really just Pth, and that's Ptah. Or Ptah is an ancient Egyptian deity, okay? Ptah is not Egyptian. I just let you know that the Egypt word, right, is a corruption of Het Ka Ptah. Okay? So he's not Egyptian. That's a description. He is a creator God in the house of Memphis. Patron deity of craftsmen and architects. Ptah is a solar creator God, Egyptian solar creator God who conceived the world, through higher consciousness thought, electromagnetic vibration, conceived reproduction, the world, and brought it into being through the creative power of speech. Through the creative power of speech. Now, when we're dealing with, let's take it back. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Who is the God? It's Ptah. What is the Word? It's his creative power. You see that? The God would be based on what this breakdown of Ptah means, right? The creator God who conceived the world and brought it into being through the creative power of speech. A hymn to Ptah dating to the 22nd dynasty of Egypt says Ptah crafted the world in the design of his heart. Okay, when you dealing with Elon Musk right now, right? And the AI boom that's kicking off right now, the ghost man is starting to call the world a simulation, like a computer game, like a chessboard. And they are starting to perceive that we are inside of a simulation. The same way you play Xbox games, PlayStation games today, okay? They are getting closer and closer to reality, or what we consider reality to be from what we see. And sometimes that can be an illusion, like African, Indian, and Egyptian, right? The closer and closer the games get to reality, they're saying, especially Elon Musk is saying, right? And we got to check out these people, these billionaires and trillionaires now, because they want to be creator gods. Okay? They want to play with cells and melanin and genetics and things of that nature and clone things. They're saying that the reality in the game is going to be so on point that we're not going to be able to tell the difference. Now, I mentioned the movie. If you haven't seen it, you should go check this movie out with Bruce Willis. It's called Surrogates. Okay? Where they actually have clone, robotic, biological AI beings walking around as your representation while you in the house plugged in to a cell phone, a computer, you plugged into it, you sit in a seat and you plug into it, right? And you go represent as this AI robot out in the world like iRobot. iRobot with some flesh on it looking like you. Ptah gave life to all the gods and their Kas, their spirits as well, through this heart and this tongue. Yahweh isn't even known yet. And if Yahweh is known by people who are walking in the deserts. Okay? By people who are walking in the deserts. They attribute the power source of the Hebrews to the temples that were built, you know what I'm saying, under King David and Solomon, right? They talk about Moses and wandering in the desert and all of that stuff. But who you want to be with? You the special people that want to walk around in the deserts with camels, drinking camels' milk and all of that stuff, right? Or you want to be a part of the people who already got a strong empire. You know what I mean? They made black people poor. They made black people another illusion description of the original, the black people, right? This is after their laws and statutes and things of that nature, their description words put into law and all of this stuff. They made black people in America, you know what I'm saying, poor. We're poor. We're poor people in America. Even if you're talking about the 1% of black power, financial black power that we have in America, has nothing. We are not nowhere close, and we better watch out because the Indian Hindu in America is taking over lands. You look at the buying power of the Indian Hindu, right? The East Indian today, their buying power is up. They all drive Teslas. You see a Hindu Indian over here. They not driving in the Houthi. You know, they didn't come up like the Mexican had to come up. The strong working Mexican, you know what I'm saying? They didn't come up like that. They came over here with and they got good credit. You know what I'm saying? You worrying about the Korean in the hood. You worrying about the Arab in the hood. Remember niggas was like, man, all the Arabs in here selling goddamn liquor and stuff. Liquor in the hood. Knowing they're not supposed to be selling no liquor. But we're not talking about the East Indian Hindu. Let's get back to what I was talking about, right? Origin and symbolism. Does Allah predate Ptah? He bears many epithets that describe his role in ancient Egyptian religion and its importance in society at the time. See, my surface, I ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? It's like beat riding when you freestyling. Your freestyle, no matter what you're saying, could be tight if you beat riding, if you riding the wave. So sometimes it ain't got to be deep. Sometimes what I'm saying already be deep. It'll be over the head. But if you calm down and just use common sense, you can begin to see. That's what all this is about anyway. It's sight, right? Right out the eyeball, right out the ray. The eye is just like a sun. Ptah, the begetter of the first Let's go back to John 1:1. Boom. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Come on, man. You can't tell me that this is not Ptah. Now, we doing origin on gods. You don't have to believe anything. Like, I don't have to believe anything. I came here by myself. I came here out the womb, and there's no connection. I could be as dumb as that. Ptah, the begetter of the first beginning. That's his first name, his epitaph. Ptah, the Lord of truth. Ptah, Lord of eternity. Now, we know we got gods everywhere, right? We got gods everywhere. But we talking about the gods with the Afro sun hair. We ain't talking about moon gods with straight hair, with dark skin. You see what I'm saying? See how easy that road? We talking about the gods and goddesses with the sun hair. Not the gods and goddesses with the straight hair, with the dark skin. Ptah, who listens to prayers. We got some competition up in heaven. We got Yahweh, Allah. We got Ptah, Osiris, Re, Atum Re, Amun Re, Anun Re, all at the table. They on their cell phones. And it's like, I'm on the clock at, you know what I'm saying? I come into work at 7 o'clock. I get off at, you know what I'm saying, 5 o'clock. I'm answering the prayers. They didn't make us think like that. You know what I'm saying? They make us think like that. While we all down here debating about what God is the best God, the original God, and the competing gods, place that conversation in a heavenly arena. What would be there? A whole lot of confusion. A whole lot of niggas saying I'm this and I'm that. I got the power. You know what I'm saying? I'm snapping. Right? That's just us though. We're talking about ethereal generative power. We're talking about black magic. We're talking about manifesting from the unseen to the seen, to be seen as a sunbeam, representing in the capacity that we're supposed to represent. And that's why we all fucked up right now. Yeah, they smashed on us, but we smashing on ourselves with the low frequency theories. The low frequency thinking, and not the high power reasoning. We fucking ourselves up with the low frequency thinking and not manifesting with the high power reasoning. You feel what I'm saying? All of us are lords. Masters of our own divine creations. Masters of our own divine mind. Why should we be settling for less when a straight-haired racist is coming up off our success? The straight-haired race has been coming up off our success for the past 6,000 years. Ptah, master of ceremonies. He's master of rhyme. Master of rhyme. Master of rhythms and harmonies. What we call an MC, a true MC, is a master of ceremonies. But when you start going into that occult shit, Masonic shit, they got a master of ceremonies too. They be talking about assimilation. Is this assimilation? You gotta ask, you know what I'm saying, what's up with the programs? Behold of a Pale Horse. William Cooper. Check that book out. It's really deep. You know what I'm saying? As time goes on, every 10 years, you feel what I'm saying? They say things change. Like the Truman Show. You know, every day though, you forgetting what you said and thought about yesterday. Yesterday they changed something in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? They changed something in the Matrix and you forgot about it. It didn't even exist. That's how they trying to play with your mind, put you in a twist. Hit you with the mental flip in the moon mist until your moon blinked and you can't really see. Ptah, master of justice. Ptah, the God who made himself to be God. That's you know what I'm saying? That's a motto for all black men today. Ptah, the God who made himself to be God. Why should we settle for anything less? Why should we settle for anything less than what God made us to be, but fresh? Not fresh on the negative, fresh on the positive. We got to get it how we live. In righteousness, though. You feel what I'm saying? In righteousness, though, how we breaking ourselves over the blue green, the blue cheese. How we breaking ourselves over their fictitious money. That shit about to be digital now. Everything about to be digital. The human genetics code is going to be insignificant because they want robots. It's more white nerds out here that ain't get no pussy than the sexiest white motherfucker on here. On this planet. Right? It's a lot of white motherfucking nerds who ain't get no pussy. Right? Then the sexy white people on this planet getting it. And you know what that means? They're mad. Demonology. They're mad. They're always on demon time. And you know what they can do? Hack your fucking systems. You know what they can do? Create robots that look like women. You know what they can do? create human robots that look like humans. They feel like humans. They got an AI artificial digital brain with a melanin chip in it, right? That's calculating down there faster than the speed of light, retaining information at the same time, never missing a beat, never going to sleep, even when you turn it off. Ptah, the double being. Ptah, the beautiful face. Okay? Like many deities of ancient Egypt, he takes many forms through one of his particular aspects or through syncretism of ancient deities of the Memphite region, sometimes represented as a dwarf, naked and deformed. His popularity would continue to grow during the late period. Frequently associated with the god Bes, he worshipped, then moved beyond the borders of Egypt and was exported throughout the eastern Mediterranean through decimation by the Phoenicians. We find figures of Ptah in Carthage. Okay? It left out of Egypt. It went into the eastern Mediterranean. So I'm saying when you talking about Allah, who are you talking about? Ptah. Or in the aspects of the description of the generative power of Allah and what he can do inside of the Bible and what he produces with black clay and black mud, you could be talking about Noon. Ptah is generally represented in the guise of a man with green skin, contained in a shroud sticking to the skin, wearing the divine beard and holding a scepter, combining three powerful symbols of ancient Egyptian religion. The wasp scepter. Three powerful symbols of ancient Egyptian religion. Sun religion, the sign of life, which is the Ankh. When you go into the Ankh, you can go into the magnetism, atoms, the womb, the Odawag, the Jed pillar. Okay, these three combined symbols indicate the three creative powers of the God, power, was, life, Ankh, and stability, Jed. Let's go into something else. Let's take it to the Britannica. Right. These creative powers of Ptah. Hu, Sia, He. You can throw Hek in there when you're talking about thought. Right? It's what they said that these gods did. That's important. What they brought. That's important. You gotta look, if it's ancient times, this is how they kicking it. Like how we kicking it today. You're supposed to be the representatives of gods and goddesses. You know what I'm saying? White people be clowning now. They be saying like kangs and queens. They actually spell that. You said you was a kang. You know what I'm saying, man? I mean, I don't even know. How we ain't raised up with the last 30 years of knowledge that has been circulating in the hoods of America, the neighborhoods of America. And we ain't raised up yet. We ain't seen what's cracking. Now they talking about AI. Biden talking about he about to shut the government down. And he said out of his mouth, it's going to hit the black communities hard. You see what I'm saying? In that regard, nigga, when you starving, what the fuck? Being an Indian or African don't have to do with anything. Nigga, your stomach ain't Indian. Your stomach is a stomach, and it need food. Your kids gonna need some food. In Egyptian religion, deified abstractions personifying respectively creative command. You think about that word is command, creative command, or authoritative utterance, the word, right? Now, dig this. Don't let this go over your head. Had, who, see it, and had, and the breakdown came before the word because the word is English, right? Perception or intelligence and eternity. They were all essential forces in the creation and continuance of the cosmos. Hu and Sia served as crew members in the solar bark of the sun god Re. In the text known as the Memphite theology, they personified the tongue and the heart of the god Ptah. They were also regarded as being two of the divine attributes of every king. He was the personification of infinite. You got to track our creation and heritage. You know what I'm saying? Our creativity, our creation story. You got to date that with thousands and millions and trillions of years. And was portrayed as a squatty man with his arms outspread, bearing the symbols of many years of life and of happiness. So when we dealing with really what's cracking with us in America, where are we getting our higher consciousness from? See, we still stuck in what we calling ourselves. We ain't stuck in revolutionizing and liberating ourselves mentally and breaking some of these adverse forces. I just seen, in the social media news world, because you get news everywhere now, all kind of people posting on all kind of stuff. Apple broke in, Lululemon broke in. Hey man, you got the have and the have-nots. We used to be the haves, and they were the have-nots. And they flipped the script. They flipped the script so much that we can't even see it's us in the situation, and they eating steak. You know what I'm saying? And the Uncle Tom celebrities, who want to do the most just to eat the steak, right? They the gatekeepers in between real people and the people who want to be unreal. You know what I'm saying? AI is really against intelligence. True intelligence. True reality. When you look at real, you're looking at two gods. If you flip it around, it's Al Ray, the Ray. Okay? The sun god, Ray. Okay? Now, when you start talking about language is dope. Now, what language they don't include, or you may not include as far as knowledge of and repertoire, is the African languages. The actual languages that don't have no vowels in them. Right? When you get into the story of Ray and things of that nature, you got to understand it's 10,000, 15,000, 36,000 years ago. So you got to ask yourself, what did they really look like primitively? How was they really kicking it? They came with so much elegance and so much beauty. How you hating on, you know what I'm saying, what you really don't know? You need to get some information. They all mixed up over here when they talking about their Indians. One thing I say about when you say African, you got an idea of what an African is. A sun person, woman and man with afro hair. With melanin skin. When you say Indian, you talking about, you know what I'm saying, the play on your mind. Like if I say, hey, it's a fire, you're going to see fire. If I say, hey, Jesus Christ, you're going to see the white man on the cross. Or however you see that white man, it ain't going to be no black man. That's what I mean by assimilation. They're assimilating things in your mind, man, that you think is true. It's not really true. The gods and the goddesses have not changed or gone anywhere. The only thing that have changed is their names through languages. You understand? So as far as representation, to be a follower of Ray, a pharaoh of Ray, a representative of Ray, you got to be the dopest nigga out here. You know what I'm saying? Go find me a dope ass representation of a black Indian. These ghost people knew to retain and talk about who these guys were. They just copied them in the Greek. They copied them in Rome. You know what I'm saying? The straight hair, dark skin ones copied it too. You feel what I'm saying? Ray was the ultimate source of right and justice in the cosmos. In the cosmos. Okay? Many syncretisms were formed between Ray and other gods, producing such names as Ray Harakti, Amun Ray, Sebek Ray, and Noon Ray. Okay? Aspects of other gods influenced Ray himself. His falcon-headed appearance as Ray Harakti originated through association with Horus or Heru. The influence of Ray was spread from On, Heliopolis. Okay? On. Now you can call Africa that, even though it's Heliopolis. You're talking about the first empire on this planet. Now some say the Sumerians came first and things of that nature. Whatever. They damn near the same people. When the languages started to change, right? Which was the center of his worship from the 4th dynasty. Kings held the title Son of Ray. And Ray later became a part of the throne that adopted a session. You got Ray and you got Apep, right? The serpent. You understand? And who was the serpent in the Bible? So when you go back to the word now, you know what I'm saying? It's clear, right? Because even in giving you that in English, when those words was written in the Bible, ancient Egypt, right, was dying. You dig what I'm saying? Meaning that it was already written. You know, it was already written. We can't keep repeating the same problems. We got to figure some shit out, right? Because right now, man, it's about to get off the chain. And if we don't understand who we naturally are, right, the righteousness within us, a lot of shit is going to be destroyed. And maybe a lot of shit does have to get destroyed to bring out the elite righteous in us. For those that is concerned with higher consciousness. You know, going through this cycle of life and death. And indeed, you must die and respect the death. But if you got kids, your kids got kids, what I'm saying is, what are you passing on to them? It's higher consciousness out here. This information has already changed. The higher power is Nupu. You get connected by information no matter where you from. I've been all over. You get connected with information. You try to stay in the plug, the true plug, the universal plug, the electromagnetic plug. It's ethereal. The higher source plug right now, as far as description and understanding and order, is Nupu. There's been information released in the past 10 years. Every 10 years, a thing has to change, transform, transmutate, transfigurate into something great so we can get a better sense and understanding of reasoning. And with that being said, this video just wanted to tap into John 1:1 that's connected to Genesis 1:1 and show you the origin of the 1:1. Right? Revolution coming out of evolution. You know, the only constant in the universe is change. And you got to change with the information, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to overstanding. With that being said, I'm out. I hope you enjoyed the video if you watched the video. If not, that's all good too. But in any case, hold it down. Peace.